So here we have the 2020 Paddlesworth winning long jump competition car, which also smashed the official world record.
Oh, that's good.
62.5.
The car did have a couple of issues, so in this video, we're going to fix it. And then we're going to take it out and see if we can get closer to our 100-mile-an-hour goal on grass. So this is an Armour Typhon with an M2C Racing 7075 chassis, which is supposed to be for a Mojave, but it makes it longer wheelbase. Also, we've got M2C Racing chassis braces, Just Bash It RC servo mount and steering top plate, M2C standoffs, Proline tyres, a great big 4070 TP motor, 3200 kV. So a couple of issues that we had with it is that as the chassis flexed, it actually bent this drive shaft here, look. So Scorched RC have sent me these. These ones here are made out of titanium and they're a lot thicker. So we're going to whip this shaft out and compare it to one of these in a minute. Also, they've sent me these titanium pillow balls. That's going to save a little bit of weight up front. So the speed controller that was in there was a Hobbywing Max 6, 160 amp. The trouble is, after a couple of passes, it overheated and it cut out. So I'm going to upgrade it to a Max 5, which is 200 amps. And also, I want to make some kind of a bracing system. I mean, on the normal Mojave, it goes from here to a bracket on there, but trouble is it makes it too high and we won't get the body on. So I'm going to somehow try and attach that onto there, somehow try and mount it onto the middle, and then maybe try and pick up on that hole there on the chassis brace. Also, we got a few other Scorched RC parts here. So we got a spool here, which basically locks up the diff, and that is to go on this Project 203 mile an hour speed car. And talking about the speed car, we burnt out one of these ZTW ESCs. So I've got a couple of MGM ESCs coming, which are a bit bigger, but they can handle a lot more power. But that's going to be in a completely separate video. So make sure you subscribe and smash the bell so you don't miss it. Also coming up on this channel, we've got a couple of helicopters to build. So this here is a Zab Goblin 700 Kraken, and over here we have the smaller Zab Goblin Fireball. Both of them are kits, so we've got to build them. And here we have a nitrous oxide system, which is actually designed to go onto a nitro RC car, so that's going to be in a video soon too. And we got a brand new GPS speed meter. The good thing is with these, they can measure 0 to 60, 0 to 60. They can measure maximum speed. They're a lot more accurate than any other GPS out there that I know of. And you basically put that in the car and then you use a cell phone app to get all the data. So we're going to have a little play with this as well. Maybe even in this video. Anyway, that's enough waffling. Let's start wrenching. So because I've glued the motor in, the reason I glued it in actually was because when we do the really hard, heavy landings, I didn't want the motor slamming down and smashing itself into the chassis, because I've killed so many motors doing that. The only trouble is now, I can't get the centre transmission off because it's kind of stuck to the chassis, so I've got to try and force it. I could have taken it off on the front, however, I have rounded off that head on that screw head and it's Loctited in. I think too tight, I can't get it out. So I'm going to try it this way first. Oh dear. Guys, just check out the quality of these. So they're a lot thicker than stock, but because they're made out of titanium, they're not actually that much heavier. So hopefully these are not going to bend. Guys, if ever you're struggling with something, put gloves on and it just gives you superpowers. Right guys, there's no way that motor is going to flex enough to get that in this side, so I think I'm just going to remove the rear bulkhead. So I never do stuff all the way up with these because they've got a lot of power in these, and if you just keep going, you're going to end up stripping out the threads or damaging the screw head. So I always go in afterwards and nip up all of the screws by hand. Beautiful! Check it out! Next, ESC! So compared to a Max 6, it is actually quite a bit bigger. Now it looks like there's just enough space in there to mount it. We just got to cut a little bit off here, the side guards here, look where it's hitting. And also on this ESC plate, there's a little ridge here. So if we cut that off, that should hopefully go in. Yeah, it's better, but we've got to get more off. No idea if this is going to work. That'll do. So I'm going to hold it down with this mastic stuff here. This is what Martin uses, and his ESCs never fly out. And judging by how tough it was to get this motor off of there, I think this stuff's going to be really strong. And I'd rather struggle getting it off here in the shop than it keep flying out when you're out bashing. Just going to leave this clamp on here while it's setting. I do not want it to move. So next, connectors. So we're going to leave these loose for now, because if the car goes the wrong way, we can just switch a couple over. Whoops. Boom. So next, let's get these titanium pillow balls on. Check out the quality of that machining. So just while we got that out, I've got these M2C retainer nuts here, because on the stock ones, these have got a habit of working themselves loose. So if we look on here, look, it's got this little ridge, and that ridge wedges itself into the first part of the thread, locking it into place. So weight-wise, we're coming in at 14 grams for the stock one and 9 grams for the titanium one. And guys, if you're giving your rigs extreme abuse, every little bit of weight that you can save is going to make it more durable. And the good thing with titanium, it's just as strong as steel, but at like a fraction of the weight. Another nice touch, you can actually do it up with a spanner. So all 4 on there, so wheel back on, and then we're going to plug in a couple of lipos and see if it works. But before we plug in the battery, I want to sort out this centre brace. So next we've got to put a little bend on it right about here somewhere. We've got something very professional coming up, guys. Could do with bigger voice, really. But we got Andy the Landy blocking the way for this one. Naughty Andy. Beautiful. All we got to do, drill a hole through there, a couple of holes through here, bolt it on, and boom! Then we can plug in the lipos and see if it works. Yes! So next I want to drill these out to an M4. What's in there now is an M3, and because there's going to be a lot of load going on there from this, I think it's going to be better off with a bigger bolt. Next, M4 tap. Boom! All fitted. Alright, it's time to power it up and see if it works. So the batteries I have been running it on so far are these Turnigy graphenes. The 3000 milliamp, 4 S's, 75C they claim, so plenty of power. Trouble is, I killed one of them when I ran them in this speed car here. This ESC burnt out, it shorted out inside, and it took out one of the lipos. So just to test it, I'm going to put a couple of these 3-cell Turnigy Rapids in there. These they claim are 140C, and I've been using these batteries for a few weeks now, and so far they've been absolutely perfect. Loads of power, loads of punch, good run time. If you want to know where you get these from, or more info and more techno babble, there's going to be a link to all of that down below. And also don't forget, guys, all the other stuff on this build, there's going to be links to all of that down below too. So these are a little bit too big to fit into this battery tray, but they're going to be good enough just to get it running while I wait for another pack of these. So next we've got to program the ESC so the ESC knows where full throttle is, brake and neutral point. I've forgotten how to do it, but we're going to try and do it anyway. We're going to put the car up on here just so it doesn't zip off. Oh, I've forgotten how to do it. I'll have a quick look through the book. I'm going to do the endpoints and then we're going to get you back on. All right, I did it. There's the instructions. If anybody wants to know, you can pause it. But guys, check out the power on 6S. That's only on 6S, guys. This thing can do 8S. I think we might have to put another band of this fishing line around the centre, because even with that on there, they're still expanding, but at least the tyres are staying on the rims. So next, let's have a look at this Sky RC Performance Analyzer. So we've got to shove this into the car and install the app onto the phone. So for some reason my phone is not picking up the device, so maybe we just got to leave it charged for a little while and hopefully later on it's going to work. So while that's going on, I want to put some more fishing line through the centre of these tyres here just to stop the centre from ballooning. By the way guys, I'm filming with a new camera here. I've got a Hero 9 GoPro and I don't know, I'm not too impressed with the audio and I'm also not impressed with the video quality, so let me know in the comments, what do you think? So with these 4 bands here, we can put the fishing line into the groove, but in the centre there is no groove, so we've got to drill a hole. For those wondering what fishing line I'm using, is this stuff here. There we go, we've got the first one done all the way around there. Look, not on there. Guys, still having troubles with this, cannot get it to work, no idea what I'm doing wrong. If any of you guys know, let me know in the comments. But basically, I go onto the app, it comes up with this where it says choose your device, and it's supposed to have that device in there. That's what I see on the videos on YouTube anyway, and mine doesn't. So if I go into my Bluetooth settings, we scroll down here, and there is the available device, that one there. So we hit that, this lights up, and it's now asking for a password. And it says try 000 or 1234. And basically, I've tried both, and none of them work. As soon as you go back to that screen there, it just goes back to that there again like that. And then we try the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Bluetooth light goes out, and nothing. And then if we go back into the app, nothing. So guys, I don't know what's going on, but I don't think we're going to use it for this video. So we're just going to go back to this trusty old one here. And if you want to know where we can get that from, there's a link to that down below. Alright, so we're back to filming with the phone because the GoPro sucks. I've got to run odd lipos just for the time being because I've actually knackered one of these. When one of the ESCs in the speed car burnt out, it kind of took out the lipo with it. So not ideal. We've got a 4S Zop and a 4S graphene, but it's better than nothing. Also, we got the GPS meter working. I think the trouble was with my phone, so I paired it up to my old phone and it works. So we got this GPS there and the old GPS there, just so we can compare speeds, and in case one doesn't read accurately, we still get reading on the other one. Alright, enough waffle, let's go. Alright, we are on location. We got Vinny in the house, we got Vinny's boss in the house. We got this GPS on 0, we got Vinny in charge of that one. How fast do you reckon it's going to go?
70. 75.
I'm going to go with 80. That was about half throttle.
Close the road.
But that's flat out, that's flat out. It didn't seem that fast, did it?
Nah, not really.
What do you reckon it was? I reckon 70 tops.
Yeah, I reckon 70.
Only 65 on there. 65, it done more than that last time. Why is it so slow? It's quite hot.
Yeah, that is quite warm. Not hot hot.
But it still feels a bit lazy compared to last time.
Does it?
68. 72.
72.
Guys, it's getting hot. But round number 3.
Oh, wheelie.
It's not going as fast as it used to.
It's them batteries, man.
Oh. Alright, what was the speed on there? 70. So a bit disappointed there, guys. We only just got it over 70 mile an hour on 8S, which is a major disappointment, seeing that we got it over that speed on 6L lipos. So now on 8S, it's slower. And I can only really put it down to using 2 different lipos in the same car. These are the lipos that I really want to run the car on, but as I said before, one of these burnt out when the ESC went, so I was running it on one of these old ones and one of these new ones, and these are like over a year old, so probably not that healthy anymore. So I'm going to get myself another one of these, and we're going to give it another blast. I mean, I can't really think what else it can be. I mean, the car is lovely and smooth. There's no friction there anywhere. We've got a more powerful ESC. There's not really any other reason why it should go slower, unless maybe we've burnt out the motor, but